If the data was a bit more spread out, then it might make sense to group them together like this and find the mean. So this, you can see we say that there's 0 values in the score range 10 to 19. There's 0 values in the score range 20 to 29, and so on. And each of these different score ranges have a certain number of students that lie in there. Now, if we're going to compute this, then we need to somehow represent each value within the, we don't know what the actual scores are if I'm just presenting you the data like this. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to first figure out what is the midpoint of each of these ranges. So the midpoint for each of them, we can find the midpoint by adding the two values, adding the two extremes and dividing by 2. 10 plus 19 over 2. This is the same way we found the midpoint when we were trying to find the median. So the midpoint here is going to be 10 plus 19 divided by 2. Now, if I hadn't hit enter there, I would have had to put parentheses if I hadn't hit enter before, after computing the addition, before doing the division. In any case, we get 14.5 for this one. And you'll notice 14.5 is exactly halfway between 10 and 19. It's 4.5 higher than 10, it's 4.5 less than 19. That is necessary when we're talking about the midpoint. So if you could figure it out geometrically, I suppose you could do it that way as well. But let's look at this next one. If I do 20 plus 29 divided by 2, you can see we get 24.5 for this next range. And this, you'll notice this is exactly between those, and 24.5 is exactly between those. Each of these are increasing both the min and the max by 10 each time. So there's actually forming a nice pattern here. 44.5, 54.5, 64.5, 74.5, 84.5, and so on. So now that I have the midpoints of each of these score ranges, I'm going to represent all the data as just that one value. And there weren't any students that had a score within this first range, so I'm just going to ignore these ones, ignore those ones, and ignore those ones. So let me just scratch these off so they're kind of out of the way. Alright, so ignoring those things, I'm going to figure out my grouped mean. My grouped mean here is going to be, well, 2 times 34.5 plus 2 times, so I took 2 times 34.5, 2 times 54.5, plus 4 times 64.5, oops, plus 10 times 74.5, plus 7 times 84.5, plus 3 times 94.5. I'm going to take and divide all of that by the number of students. There's 2 plus 2 plus 4, that's 8, 18, 25, 28 students. And I might actually verify that because my phone keeps buzzing at me and distracting me. Yeah, okay, so that does sum up to 28.